Stadia Podcast, episode number 114, where you join us for your weekly Stadia show, where we round up all of the Stadia and gaming news for your listening or viewing pleasure right here on youtube.com/Helix Cloud Games, or up there in the digital cloud, wherever you get your podcasts. We're here for a very juicy episode. We have all of your Christmas goodies, your Christmas Stadia programs dug out the bag for you to enjoy, and we have 7 of them. And I know you're thinking, 7, that's weird. There's a reason for it. Listen to the show, enjoy, and we'll tell you just why it should be 7, legally. We've got the lawyers involved. We've also got Epic acquiring studios that had deals with Stadia, new game announcements, new roadmaps, and much, much more. But before we get into all that, let me introduce you to my beautiful Christmas co-host for, I say the month of December, it is actually still November, but everything's turning Christmassy now.
Right, I was about to pull you up on that, because this episode actually does relaunch in November, so I'm not sure I like all this Christmas talk yet.
Yeah, it's so close though. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, the man of many pixels, Mr. Richie, this bar humbug Scrooge himself.
Christmas is in December. Once it hits December, enjoy.
Now, I totally agree with you like that.
Yeah.
I've just been caught up in talking about pro games for Christmas, and there's a storm outside in the UK right now. The weather's turning. Black Friday's been and gone. Our friends stateside have celebrated Thanksgiving, so now the focus switches very much to Christmas. I'm getting my decorations out this weekend. Not putting them up, just getting them out. Just preparing.
Getting prepped, being organised. I like it.
Just in case I put my back out, they're already down, so I don't have to worry about that.
That stuff's okay. Being organised, getting some presents in, getting a bit of Christmas shopping done. All that's fine. It's the celebration of Christmas. 1 month is plenty to celebrate what is effectively one day.
That is true. But it is the festive season, as they say. And we're here to talk about all of that juicy festive offerings and also Stadia conversation, as we said. But before we do get stuck into all of that turkey-filled action, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click that bell so you are kept in the loop with everything we bring you here at Helix Cloud Games. Just like our first looks. Because, Richie, you had a first look, or you had 2 first looks.
Yes, I had 2 tries at a first look of a game I've already played.
That's what we do here.
Yeah. I hadn't played it on Stadia though, and the first day my internet shit the bed as soon as I hit go live. And anyone who watched that could probably see how frustrated I was by it. So I fought through the demons of the internet. I got it fixed, and we went again on Friday.
And I need to watch that back then just to see how frustrated you got.
You won't be able to watch the Thursday one. That's already gone.
Deleted fully, or can I still sneak into the back end and look at it?
I think I deleted it fully just to get it off the channel. It was only like 10-15 minutes long of me just complaining. Like, it's nothing worth watching.
Oh well, I've seen you frustrated, so I know what it looks like. Speaking of frustrated, if you're out there and you listen to our podcasts on audio services, this week you may have seen that SideQuest was in fact uploaded once again with just Richie's audio. So if I think Richie, between us folks, is trying to branch out and do his own show where it's just him talking for 40 minutes.
I've not had a good week, Chris.
Well, we're about to make it much, much better, Richie, with, which I haven't actually mentioned to you yet, but I do have a little retcon ritual to add in. One of our friends of the show, Luke, wrote in with a retcon for last week regarding the Google Play points, and says you can pay for your Stadia Pro subscription using the Play points. He wrote in and corrected us on that as well. So if you get vouchers, you just need to go into Manage Subscriptions and change your payment method over, and then you can pay with vouchers. So because as I mentioned, I think I've got about £33 worth burning a hole in my pocket. I haven't bought Outriders yet. I've seen loads of people on Twitter out there comment and say it's a lot.
Bit of talking out Discord as well.
Which has got me. I'm like, the guys in our Discord, those awesome people. Do I jump in with them? But then, do I have the time? I've got loads. I'm busy with work and stuff right now, so maybe. But the money, it's sat there burning a hole, Richie. Yeah.
Do you break up for Christmas at all, or do you kind of just work the whole thing?
I have some time booked in between Christmas and New Year, but I am going away, so it's not going to be gaming focused. But I will have some time off on the evening still. It just gets that busy. Yeah. I did go out last night and had unlimited steak, which was awesome. Yeah. Anyone out there who likes a good steakhouse? Mwah! Beautiful. We need to go one time, Richie. We'll schedule that in as our next venture out into the real world, and we'll see if we can find Tom as well and pull him in. But you're not here to talk about juicy meats. You're here to talk about juicy games, and we've got all of that lined up for you. Don't forget, you can check out the rest of the channel for our live streams, which we do every Thursday and Friday. We'll be back this week. I'll be back this week. Richie will most likely be playing one of our December Pro games. Don't know which one. We've got a mixed bag to pick from, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So, Richie, before we do that, aside from Child of Light and your 3 attempts to play it, what have you been playing this last week?
I mentioned on last week's show that after last week's live stream, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to play next, so I went up into the PlayStation Store, and they had a sale on, and I bought Ni no Kuni 2. So I played a bit of Ni no Kuni 2.
Oh, good. How are you enjoying it so far?
I'm really actually enjoying it more than I expected to be perfectly honest. But it's very Disney-esque in a lot of ways. Like, I don't know if you've ever heard of Chris Studio Ghibli,
yes,
like the Japanese. Yeah. Well, it's basically the Ni no Kuni 1 was actually developed in conjunction with Studio Ghibli, so it's like playing through one of their movies. So it's quite very fairy tale, very quite childish in its tone, but quite interesting. It plays really well on PlayStation 5.
Oh, good.
I mean, I think it is technically a PlayStation 4 game, so you'd expect that.
We're all a little bit childish here anyway. Did I see something about the director of those Studio Ghibli movies is coming back out retirement for one more movie or something this week? I feel like I've read...
he's done that about 8 times already.
Okay. He's just one of those guys who just can't let things rest. He has to come back one more time. And that's what we'll do, and that's what we'll do this Thursday as well, playing some more games with you wonderful people out there. I'm still chipping away at Wavetail. Like I said, I've been busy with work, so I've not had much time. I did take my Razer Kishi away with me this week down to London, so I played some Wavetail in the hotel. It's one of those weird things that when you're in a city centre, usually your mobile cellular signal's really, really good. So I realised after I'd played about 2 more hours of Wavetail? Yeah. Don't know what that is. Wavetail. I just played it without even thinking. I had no glitches, no bugs, no frame drop, no latency. All I did is plug my phone in like I do when I'm in the house. Played 2 hours, and it was only when I shut the game down I was like, oh, I've just done all that on 5G without even contemplating like signal loss or anything. And it was just like, you know what, cloud gaming is damn good right now.
It is.
Damn good right now.
As long as these internet providers sort their act out.
As long as the internet holds up its end of the bargain.
I actually still hold that things like cloud gaming will force ISPs to sort their act out. Because one of the big problems they do is just give you cheap hardware. So they might go, we can send you a gigabit internet down the line, but then you've got a router that can't get past your coffee table.
It's just blocked by the cafe.
Yeah, so it's kind of, that's the situation if sometimes you get, which is why I got Google Wi-Fi, and it's just getting it set up properly.
Yeah, and I'd recommend that as well. I saw some people on the Facebook group. We do have a Facebook group. We do have a Discord group. We should mention that. So if you want to talk about Google Stadia UK as well, we're big involved with that particular page. And loads of people on there were questioning about moving around from different providers here in the UK. And the big reality is it's usually the router. It's not necessarily the service you're being provided, although in the UK it could be better. We know the infrastructure in the United States, and let's face it, the whole world could be better at it. But for the requirement of it, it's usually the hardware, you're right, is just not good enough.
And the unfortunate situation in the UK is you're either living in a BT area or you live in a Virgin area. That's it.
Wow.
Like, very few, I don't know many places where you can actually get like decent speeds on both Virgin and BT. I mean, I can't get like top class BT broadband to my house. I can't get BT fibre.
Yeah, it's usually one or the other, but it is.
So I have one choice. Yeah.
So if you do have the best you can get, try and improve your infrastructure. And we should probably point out right now, Google are having crazy sales. We mentioned it in last week's show. Yeah. The Premier Edition offers that were all over the globe. It's Black Friday. Black Friday turns into Cyber Monday. Cyber Monday turns into Christmas sales, Boxing Day sales, New Year's sales. You've got plenty of time, but if you are thinking you're treating yourself, I keep getting YouTube ads for Google Wi-Fi all the time, even though I have one and the hub, saying, there's like £50 off, $30 off, whatever it may be. But they do them a lot on finance now. So I got mine on that. I think I pay £7 a month over 2 years, 0%, rather than dropping £200 odd. So, and it is a market improvement. So,
yeah,
if you want to, endorsed by you. Tom's got one as well, right?
Yeah, Tom's got one. Tom got one first. That's what, when I was having problems like last year, that's what inspired me. And eventually I just went, you know what, I'm just going to drop the money and just get it.
Yeah.
And it did improve things a lot, but since I moved my office around, for some reason, I think something must be just blocking the signal. The performance dropped.
Is your coffee table in the way?
No. But I mean, if people want to know what my solution was to get it working, my office is at the front of my house, where the router is at the back of my house, and I'm one floor up, and that's how I had it. The split. So I had one port, I had the main hub downstairs at the back of the house, and the satellite hub just here on my desk. I've now moved that hub to the back of the house still on this floor, so I've moved it closer to the primary one. So instead of going like upstairs and along the house, it just goes upstairs when they're talking to each other. And that seemed to work. I need to come up with a better solution, because at the moment it's literally just on top of my guest bed.
Wires, Richie.
Yeah, I need to get a little stand or something in there.
Meters upon meters of wires. That's what you need.
Yeah.
You need your house rigged up like one of Google's server places.
That would be the ideal, if I could just run like a networking switch straight from the hub straight into my office. That would be perfect, but unfortunately I can't.
Everywhere. So regardless of internet issues then, when it does work, we can play games. And as we said, we've got loads of news for you all this week regarding games. We've got a special list of Stadia Pro titles, and we're going to be breaking them down and talking about them all. But before we do that, Richie needs to do us the honours of introducing us to the
super sexy special Stadia story segment, aka the news.
The news. Loads of news this week. And we need to kick things off, Richie, by rolling out Transformers Battlegrounds, your first pro title, dropping on December 1st. This week, time of show going live, it'll be Wednesday, so not long to wait, ladies and gentlemen. Transformers Battlegrounds just announced from Outright Games, new to the platform, day and date on Pro, with the Earth under invasion and Megatron, leader of the Decepticons, close to capturing the Allspark. Bumblebee and the Autobots need a new commander to help them restore peace to the universe, and it's you. Assemble your squad, roll out for a turn-based tactical war that will rage from Central City, not to be confused with the one from the DC universe, to Cybertron itself. You'll need both strength and strategy to outwit the fiendish Decepticons. Richie, this is a XCOM style game.
Yes, it is.
We believe, from what we've watched the footage. With the pro games this month, we're going to break down, look at some Metacritic scores and get some kind of feedback on how they're received. You and me, somehow, even though our age should be prime real estate for being massive Transformers fans, talking pre-show, neither of us that big on them.
No, I remember watching some stuff as a kid, but never really to any sort of depth where I would say I was into the Transformers. And the Michael Bay movies are absolute garbage, so...
I've only seen, I think, 2. My brother absolutely loves Transformers. I don't know if that's the age gap. There's that little... But then again, they're out before we were born, so...
I think it's like 70s, wasn't it, Transformers? Yeah, maybe 80s.
It's in my mind. All I can think is, growing up, for those who are younger, don't remember, there didn't used to be 1,000,001 channels and on-demand TV. It had to be, you watched one of 3, 4, maybe 5 if you were lucky. And on a morning or on a night when you finished school... You usually committed to one channel. It was either BBC 1, 3 or 5, I think. And I think I was more of a CITV Channel 3 kid, which meant I watched like Pokemon and that kind of show. And for some reason, Transformers totally just got away from me. Our friend Andy's a massive Transformers fan, so I guess he watched the other side. He might have had Sky. I don't know.
I'm very much. I was watching things like Pokemon, like Dragon Ball Z and stuff when I was a kid. But Transformers, the franchise started in 1984, so I was right there. But
yeah, so it should be. Like, don't get me wrong, I appreciate everything about it. I think it's cool as shit, like cars that transform into robots, and I understand. I know Megatron, I know Optimus Prime, I know what the movies are roughly centered around. There are ones that turn to dinosaurs, right? Are they Dinobots, or is that a different show?
Well, it's one of them. I think it started with a toy line. So anytime a new toy line comes out, they do a new cat series with cartoons, that sort of stuff.
Dinobots.
And then they figure out some lore to slap into it to kind of make it make sense.
Of course, yeah. Then we've got Michael Bay movies. I can already hear people out there who are massive Transformers fans, and I know our age demographic of viewers and listeners as well is like it's right in that wheelhouse. So apologies.
You know what?
Power Rangers
if you enjoy,
my bag.
If you enjoy the Michael Bay Transformers films, fine, more power to you. But I just don't like them at all. I don't typically go for movies where it's just only action and everything else is just to move. You know, the sort of movie where you can see what they've done is they've come up with some like 6 or 7 cool ideas for set pieces and trying to figure out how we can stitch these together with the plot, rather than writing a story and then going, okay, where's the set pieces going to come out of this?
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
I get you.
Yeah.
Michael Bay does love a good explosion. But talking about the game then, Transformers, we've said it's new to the platform, releasing day and date on Stadia Pro. So people get to check it out without having to drop any hard-earned cash. This is another title from Outright Games, who are just going to town on Stadia releases this half of the year. They've just knocked it out of the park with, I think, a good variation, family-friendly, and credit to them because somebody needs to do it.
Outright, it's CodeSync, isn't it?
That was Outright on the trailer.
Okay. I'm just looking at the Metacritic, and Metacritic has it developed by CodeSync.
It might be. Maybe
it's published by Outright.
Yeah, on Stadia it might be a thingy. I'm pretty sure. I'm
okay.
just going to quickly... Yeah, Outright Games is the first thing that boots up on the trailer. Outright and Hasbro, but...
Hasbro own the license for Transformers. Yeah. I wonder if it's developed by CodeSync and like ported by Outright or something weird like that.
Transformers, publishers in disguise.
Who
That's
knows?
What this is. Who knows? But yes, XCOM style game, so it's going to be a bit more turn-based action. Think Mario and the Rabbids. That's the same XCOM style, right? Probably.
Yeah, it's a grid-based action strategy, turn-based tactical game. Like XCOM seems to be like it's like when people talk about roguelites where like it's a game like Rogue or Metroid Vanias, where it's a game that's similar to like what you get out of Metroid or Castlevania. XCOM kind of has the same thing where I think it's the first like game to really popularize that style of game.
So it gets the flag and it gets to carry it for the rest of existence now, unless someone
basically
adds something on the back of it. And with XCOM games, I know we're expecting Marvel's Midnight Suns as another XCOM one on the horizon, so there might be a bit of a rise in these at the moment. But if you're a Transformers
they've always been about, but
if you're a Transformers fan, if you're an XCOM fan, if you're a Stadia Pro fan, then this one is definitely in your wheelhouse. So enjoy that. Enjoy playing with Optimus Prime, Grimlock, and all of the other Autobots as well as they roll out onto Google Stadia. Let us know what your thoughts are on it. I know we've said in Metacritic it's not reviewed the most positively.
No, it's not. But the thing is, it's a pro game, so there's no reason not to jump into it. If you're interested, it's got a 64, but it's only actually got 4 reviews. I'm looking at the PlayStation 4 version. And no user score, which was kind of surprising.
For a year-old game. But make up your own mind. That's what games are about. They're all subjective, so enjoy them, play them, fill your boots with that, and transform yourself into a car. Just like our next story did. Next pro game of the week is Wreckfest. Now, we reported on this a few weeks ago as part of one of the Sounds of Stadia episodes.
Yeah.
Now,
I think with Wreckfest, we both kind of agreed that we hoped that this game would come to pro.
And there it is.
So
it was one, I think, because we're not massive fans of racing games, but we have a lot of fun when we play
with the
community. So like the likes of Grid, Formula 1, MotoGP, Dirt 5, loads of fun to be had, multiplayer, and this one is more focused on just smashing shit up, which is, again, I'm not going to do that in real life with my own car, so why not do it in a game with our awesome Stadia community? So Wreckfest, it's been announced, it's coming out as part of Pro. Remember, it is a demolition derby, depending on how you say it, themed racing game with a soft body damage modelling, sophisticated driving dynamics, and an in-depth vehicle upgrading. Featuring both demolition derbies and more traditional track races, it's all about fun, breakneck racing, and over-the-top crashes. So it sounds like it's just doubling down and going all in on just getting shit messed up, which is always fun when a video game and there's no cost implications, insurance, or medical things to worry about.
I think this might be the racing game that I actually enjoyed the most because it's just about the chaos and about the shenanigans and not the actual racing, which is I'm pretty bad at.
Yeah, should we? I mean, looking at the list as we go down them, should we pencil this one in for Thursday?
Yeah, we can pencil in for Thursday. I mean,
I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's online multiplayer. As a racing
so.
You would hope so, exactly. You really, really would. We know you, everyone out there, loves a bit of Grid and Dirt 5, so join us on the Blacktop this Thursday on the Helix Cloud Games YouTube channel.
Yeah, looking at Metacritic on the PS5 version, it says number of online players up to 16 players, up to 24 players.
So which is it?
I don't know. I'm just reading off this website.
Up to 16, up to 24, and bringing it down.
I'll check some of the other versions.
See if we can get answers.
PS4's up to 16. I wonder if the PS5 version gives you more.
Oh, right, okay.
It might be one of them.
So on Stadia, it might be even more.
We'll figure it out. We'll
figure it out as we go. Just like we do on every live stream. We jump in, we look at the menu. I forget how the hell you set up lobbies on every game, even when we've played them before. Killer Queen Black, every single time we boot it up, my brain goes, how do we do this again? But
they're all different.
They're all different. If you're not into racing, however, do not fear, because the pro list keeps ticking on, and it's a good selection this month. We've got another entry coming along in the well-known remake category, and that comes in the form of Destroy All Humans, the remastered version. So remember, the cult classic has returned. You play as Crypto to terrorize the people of 1950s Earth in a role as an evil alien, harvest DNA, and bring down the US government in the remake of the legendary Aliens action adventure. Annihilate puny humans using an assortment of alien weaponry, psychic abilities, reduce their cities to rubble with your flying saucer. One giant step on mankind is the tagline for this game. And we've just, of course, had the recently announced Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed, which was revealed at the THQ showcase earlier in the summer, Richie. And this comes back to THQ's relationship, where we don't actually know about the sequel coming to Stadia, but we have this and we have SpongeBob, and now this is going pro. These are the little things that tell me, like, surely there's a good enough relationship with these publishers and developers to ensure the second one is coming out too. They just won't commit to telling us.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of these situations where it feels like a given that we'd get it, but there's no confirmation yet.
Mm-hmm. But in the meantime, at least we do get to play Destroy All Humans, the original remake. I guess that's what it's called now, the original remake.
Yeah.
And it's one of those games that I think my brother had as a kid, but I never played it. It's one of them, you start to get older and you play your own games, and your younger siblings or your older sibling in your case, have like slightly different tastes. And I think that Destroy All Humans was one of those ones that at the time I was like, not for me. But then in hindsight, now it's been remade and remastered or whatever they've done with it, and now it's free on Pro. Like we say with Pro all the time, it gives us a great opportunity to try out new games. I'm a big fan of the old PS2 era games, and I think THQ are definitely lining up for a third in the series. I think 2 remakes, get them onto modern tech, modern hardware, Stadia, PS5, etc.
See how well they're received.
Yeah. And we know part of the Embracer group, we know they're planning to always continue to expand, but you can't imagine they own these IP, these franchises, and they don't intend to iterate and bring out new stuff.
Yeah, I mean, when I say see how they're well received, it's not just a case of people going, oh, I'll give this game an 8 or I'll give this game a 7. It's about what elements of this style of gameplay still work now, and what elements need rejuvenating. Mm-hmm. That's probably the more interesting stuff as they're working on the game.
Yeah, figure out where stuff just is like a bit clunky and it doesn't work by a modern video game standard, but they can get away with it with remasters and remakes. But then, with a remaster especially, and a remake still, but maybe to a slightly less degree, it's kind of a case of, well, the game is the game. Like, we can't really change everything about the game, because then it wouldn't be this game. Talking to you, Rockstar, GTA Remastered.
Yeah.
While we reference that, actually, GTA Remastered, I know we gave it some jokes and shit. Have you seen Rockstar have basically committed to fixing it? They've came out and apologised. They've said to people...
they kind of had to.
I mean, yeah, they did, but it's interesting just to see how all these remakes and remasters kind of keep going. We do know we're getting another SpongeBob game, of course, from the same people. Don't know if it's confirmed to Stadia yet. And that probably just brings us on to many of our SideQuest topics that we are talking about throughout the course of... probably December into the new year, as we look ahead towards the future and see what it entails. We've got, actually, Richie, we should probably point out as well, speaking of like events and communication, this week's SideQuest show is going to be delving into events and communication in particular. And our members can get it up to 6 days early. At the time of recording, you could get it on Sunday the 28th. So if you all listen to this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or maybe even Friday, you could have had this way back last Sunday before Christmas season began, Richie.
I'm actually feeling quite generous since it is the holiday season and your members might get it on the Saturday. Wow. That's purely because I have to edit today because I'm busy all day tomorrow.
Oh, wow. So,
and it's, by the way, we're recording Saturday, so...
We are indeed. We are indeed.
So you might just get it a day even earlier as a member just because of my schedule.
There you go. What more could you want, folks? What more could you want? How about another pro game? That's right. Next up on the list, Falconeer Warrior Edition from the amazing Thomas Sala, single developer, is back. Falconeer, not long since been out on Stadia. It's had some praise. The developer we've praised, and the game itself has had some plaudits. Soar through the skies, remember, aboard a majestic warbird, explore a stunning oceanic world, and engage in epic aerial dogfights in a BAFTA-nominated air combat fighting game. Take on the roles of Falconeer, a powerful airborne warrior, traversing across vast oceanic worlds, torn apart by generations of poisonous decisions and dissent. Sounds like our world, Richie. Throughout multiple campaigns, you experience life from many different perspectives and loyalties as you embark on a journey of discovery and solve the mysteries of its people and history. This is one again. This is pro game winning through and through, because I would not personally have bought this game because I just either don't have the cash or the time or so. However, now it's in my pro library, I'll play it, and I'm hoping that new pro agreement Stadia rolled out in the summer. I'm hoping these developers start to see like the fruits of these subscription models coming to life a little bit more. Where do you stand on the Falconeer?
I like the look of it, but I think I'm pretty much the same as you. It's one of them games where I kind of like I'll check it out if it comes to pro rather than. It's an interesting game. I thought I like what you're doing there. The dev seems great. The way he's been interacting with the community went around the launch. Always like to see that from developers. And the fact that it's a one guy team who made this entire game, that I always find incredibly impressive, because there's so many disciplines that go into video game development. Everything from art to music to coding, the works. It's just like always incredibly impressive, and when they pull it off, great. But I'll probably be checking this out at some point. But it's going. My Stadia backlog's starting to grow again of games that I want to check out.
Yeah,
because Wavetail's still on there now. Falconeer is going to be joining.
Well, exactly. That actually probably can pause for a moment there and think about the pro games library now, because this is of course another handful of games that have just been added to it. At what point is we actually theorized this, if you remember, way back when. I think we did like the first couple of podcasts, and we said pro essentially could be your Netflix. I know Stadia's got a lot of Netflix for games references and comparisons and such. But as the pro library keeps getting bigger, and we said they don't really have any hard, fast rules of when stuff comes off. I remember our good friend InLead as well over on Twitter. You should definitely go follow that guy. He does the Stadia Pro Game Monitor, which is all of the dates, all the times, all the durations these games are available on Pro. So if you're keen on tracking when and where and how and why, these statistics are terrific. It's actually something I wish Stadia would be a bit more clear on themselves, because if you wanted to find out what games have been and gone, there's no real way other than scrolling back through community blog posts of finding all this. And yet here we have stellar guy in the community tracking all this on a regular basis. And there's actually another story later in the news today which actually could have thrown off his game monitor, because it's the first of its kind, and we'll get to that, or we might get to that, we'll have to see. But as it stands, we've got tons. I think now I'm going from memory here, I'm pretty sure he said there's over 50 to claim
at the moment.
In my mind, I don't know. There's so many damn games now, and I read that much of Twitter. Either we've passed. No, we must have passed 50. Obviously, we're well past that.
Oh, in total, we've passed 100 pro games. Yeah,
I can't remember. I need to start screenshotting these things so I can bring them to the table. I'm having a quick scroll now just so I can see when they're announced. 100 pro games. Oh, there you go. Oh, sorry, there you go. 44 pro games during December 2021. So, not far off 50. Yeah. So, yeah, we've had 117 pro games since launch of Stadia in November 2019. As of now, you can claim 44 games, which I think, if you're not on the platform, or you're just about to get your free Premier Edition, or your 7th Premier Edition, or someone buys you one for Christmas, imagine jumping into Stadia right now and just looking at what games that you can still... I think you can just jump in and play immediately. If we look at some titles that are currently now on Pro still to claim, Rich, you've got Hitman, Crater, what have we got? Journey to the Savage Planet, Pixel Junk Raiders, MotoGP, Blue Fire's still in there, Dark Side Detective, Killer Queen Black, Grime, Little Big Workshop, PGA 2 if you're a golf fan, some of the Spirits Lucky's Adventure ones, Control Ultimate Edition, Mafia 3, goddamn Mafia 3, Saints Row, Dirt 5 only came out this March on the platform, Wavetail, and they obviously we're about to get Destroy All Humans and stuff, so such a good bag of titles still available to claim, and I just think, yeah, if you pay Sound to your free subscription, it's a bargain, it's brilliant. And once you've claimed it, it's yours. They don't get taken away like Game Pass. It's yours.
As long as you have your Pro subscription, you have access to it. Mm-hmm. And if you're new here and you've not done this before, if you actually restart your subscription, all the games you had previously come back.
Yeah,
it's closer to the PlayStation Pro model.
Yeah,
PlayStation Plus, sorry, where once you claim the games, it's in your library as long as that subscription is active.
And claim them. Don't ignore. I know some people. I mean, it's your preference. I always claim them. I claim like Spirits Lucky Adventure, even though I have no intention of ever playing it. You know what? In 7-8 years' time, I may have a child who may want to play a game about a horse.
I have seen some people do occasionally ask things like Facebook groups is a way to kind of get rid of a game from the library. But I think, see, this is something we've talked about in the past about. We're at a point now where I think there needs to be more customizable library curation.
There certainly does. Because it would be nice to have folders, favourites, maybe. Like, just give us the option to tap a little star in the corner of the artwork, and then when you star them, it might just keep 5 pinned to the top of your list. Like that would be such an easy fix, and it would just mean I don't have to scroll to get my favourite games. But we digress. That's for another topical show, all unto itself. But we're not done. The pro games keep on coming thick and fast, Richie, because next up we have Foreclosed, the narrative-driven action-adventure set in a cyberpunk world filled with action, suspense, and experimental augmentations, because you can't have a cyberpunk futuristic world, Richie, without augmentations. We follow the story of Ivan Kapnos, his identity recently foreclosed, stripped of his job, his brain implants, and his access to the city blockchain. He must now escape before his identity and his implants are auctioned off. Now, this game art style choice had me really kind of intrigued initially.
Yeah, same. It's very comic book.
But then again, life gets in the way, work gets in the way. So many titles come out. Richie, you just put 150 hours into Persona. I've just finished Far Cry 180.
That's 3 games. I played 3 games. That's 3 games worth of time.
180. I know. That's insane.
It didn't feel like that long.
That's the sign of a good game. But yeah, Far Cry 6 I've just finished. Guardians of the Galaxy I've just finished. And I'm actually at a perfect time because I've got all these pro games, and I've not done any games outside of Wavetail this week. And that's because I've just been having like that little breather moment where you come up for air and think I don't want to commit to anything just yet.
You want some smaller titles, just burn through,
just to check off. So this is going to be one. Foreclosed, I'm definitely going to jump into. I love the cyberpunk aesthetic. I was a bit let down by Cyberpunk 2077. Although apparently
you should probably go back to that.
I know. I might. But then it's another massive open RPG, so we'll see. I might check out Foreclosed yet, and Foreclosed might get me on the cyberpunk train again.
Yeah,
like in that aesthetic, and get me back in. But how is this one reviewed on Metacritic? Are we looking on Foreclosed?
It does have a Metacritic score on PlayStation, but it doesn't have any user score. It's about 64.
Right, okay. 6 out of 10. I'll take that.
Yeah, it's like it's a mid sixes, depending on which platform you look at.
It's a perfect pro game title. That's what it should be. So check out Foreclosed. That is so what's that so far? Let's count them up, Richie. Transformers 1, Wreckfest 2, Destroy All Humans 3, Falconeer Warrior Edition with the DLC included 4, and then Foreclosed comes in at 5. And if you've read the community blog, I know what you're thinking right now. That's our pro games for December. That's what they're saying out there, Richie. They're going, Chris, Richie, that's your 5 pro games for December. Now, if you recall, Richie, we got 7 pro games last December. It was our busiest month. We actually got 6, and then we got Cthulhu Saves Christmas drop very timely, just before Christmas.
That was fun. That was a fun stream.
Yeah. We did a first look. Go check it out on the channel. If you're just into like dry, sarcastic humor and you want a nice little, would you say it was like top down? It's like a Zelda. Is it top down?
It's a very NES, it's very SNES style JRPG. 10 base combat, top down isometric view,
pixelated. Yeah. But we had a great time with that. It surprised us. We played it together, and we had a really good time with it.
I wasn't there, Chris. If you remember, I wasn't there.
Oh, sorry. Santa Claus, the man of many Santas, was there.
The Santa of many pixels.
Yes, if you want to check out me streaming alongside Santa, that video is up on the channel. But, like we said, 7 pro games. Now, we don't know if Stadia will follow suit this year, Santa suit. However, 5 is what we got in the community blog, Richie. But if some of you recall, this isn't breaking news. This is literally news that we were told by Stadia. They tweeted out in October that we would be getting Unto the End on December 10th. So if you recall, ladies and gentlemen, it was announced as an October Pro game, and then literally days before, they turned around and said, oh, no, it's not. It's actually coming on December 10th. In a tweet. That's it. No correction to the blog, just a tweet. So I went back to check it was there. I got the tweet. You can find it on Google Stadia's official Twitter thread, and it literally says, yes, mark your calendars, Stadians. Unto the End will be coming to Stadia Pro on December 10th, which means we have 6 games on Stadia Pro. Of course, Unto the End is a handcrafted cinematic platformer about a desperate journey home, master combat through improvisation and observation in intense sword fights, spot opportunities to use artifacts and trade supplies, an adventure told through your actions of how you will make it home. Tom was a big fan of this one back in the day, Richie. Very Viking inspired. The fighting style reminds me of Nidhogg, where you have to be very particular about how you control and handle your sword and weapons and spears.
Bring Nidhogg to Stadia.
Nidhogg's really, really cool. Unto the End, though, that's another game we're getting. So that is taking us up to 6. So again, perfect opportunity to check out a plethora of new games. I've got 6 to pick from.
The one thing I take from this is Stadia can't count.
Yeah, Stadia certainly can count. But more importantly, they should have probably included it in the community blog. So there's like just a little side note, just a reminder: you're also getting Unto the End. However, how much faith we should put in the Stadia blog post always has to be questioned.
I think they've really stuck by probably like a word count or something, because for me, there's no reason why there couldn't just be one line. Unto the End comes 10th of December on Pro. That's all it needs. A reminder.
We've said this before, but it's also weird the way they do the blog post, because for this month in particular, just reading directly from it, it says 2 incredible games are launching directly Pro. They say Transformers Battlegrounds, all capitals. Then you get a little blurb coming on December 1st. Then we've got Wreckfest, get a little blurb. And then it says, also coming, Destroy All Humans, Falconeer, Foreclosed are moving on December 1st. Why do them 3 games not get a right? Just arguably on that list, Destroy All Humans is the biggest game, I would say. It's the more well-known, it's the most well-recognised, and it gets the title of the game, that's it. No description, no breakdown, no telling us that it's an amazing remaster from a beloved franchise. And you're totally right, like, why are you not dedicating more of your blog post to telling us about the games you're giving? Word count?
I don't know. I don't know. It's probably something to do with Google Analytics has said if it's a blog post is longer than this, people aren't going to read it, so they've put a hard cap on it. But what I would probably do is, why not just use hyperlinks to link, like where it says Transformers Battlegrounds? Why not link that to the trailer? Because Google's YouTube channels hosts all the trailers for all the games. Yeah,
that could work. And then in the video there could be a link to take you to the store. Full circle. But then they spend a full paragraph telling us about a turkey trial in Ark Survival Evolved that, quite frankly, no one cares about anymore. Like, the game launched bad. the game never ran great. I don't hear anyone talking about it.
Ark did not survive.
It did not. But it
definitely needs some more evolution as well.
It does. But I'll tell you what did not survive the community blog post, Richie, because in our title for this video, we put 7 pro games for December. And I know what you're thinking by now. You're thinking, guys, you've already said 5 pro games. And then you went, actually, no, you know what? It's 6 unto the end. Remember that. Actually, those eagle-eyed readers amongst you who do read the blog, like us two here, will have realised that it actually initially stated that you would also be getting, for Stadia Pro in December, Little Nightmares. And there's many things that we can look at from this. Is one, we've already had Little Nightmares on Pro. Many of you out there have probably already claimed it. I've claimed it. Hell, Richie, I've got a full playthrough of the entire game up on our channel. 3 hours long, you can complete the game. It's a terrific little game, Little Nightmares.
Yeah, it's fun.
From Bandai Namco. Of course, the sequel came straight to Stadia Pro, in fact, earlier on this year. I also played through that in its entirety, didn't we? So that's 2 full playthroughs. But the reason we bring it up is because it would appear that it's not coming to Stadia Pro, because the blog was amended and Little Nightmares no longer shows up on that blog post. So there's many things to unpack with this. And the first one is, they told us it was coming this December, so of course, everyone has claimed it before, you've already got it. We know that's how Pro works. Anyone who wasn't a Stadia Pro member prior to that will have read that blog and thought, awesome, I'm getting Little Nightmares in December. I missed out on it this time last year, whenever it came out last year. I'll wait for Wednesday and I'll claim it. Great game. Arguably the best game on that list. I'd say I'd actually rank Little Nightmares above Destroy All Humans, having not played it yet. But then,
quite easy to rank a game above something you haven't played.
So then, this could and should and would have been the first instance that we saw a Stadia Pro game repeat back into the cycle. Yeah. However, now it's been taken out of the blog post. This is where I want to just unpack and say, like, right, are we getting 7 pro games and is one of them Little Nightmares, or did someone mess up and it's not coming at all? Where do you stand, Richie?
I think it's just a mistake. You know what I think I almost wonder if they've taken old blog posts as a template and it's like been in there and they forgot to delete it.
No, don't say that.
I don't know. Either way, it's a bit sloppy, Google. I mean, I'm not really one to talk. I posted an entire podcast with only half the audio.
Well, you're an amateur. We're amateurs. We're complete
This
amateurs
isn't my job.
Yeah, we don't get paid for this. We do this as a hobby.
Yeah.
But, so yeah, for those who don't know Little Nightmares, it's essentially you play as a little character in a dark, whimsical tale. You confront your childhood fears. They've got some creepy character design, very Tim Burton-esque inspired. The gameplay is very similar to Inside or Limbo in terms of little puzzle mechanics on a 2D plane. Funnily enough, with no dialogue, it tells a very, very interesting story, and you should definitely check it out. On the stream, did I wear an anorak at all to represent the main character? Yes, I bought a yellow anorak off Amazon just to wear.
Now, you're going to have to watch both Little Nightmares and Little Nightmares 2 to figure out which one you wore it in. Because I can't remember.
Well, there we go. There's a little Easter egg for you to look out for. But to get back to the crux of the point, Richie, you're right. It's just sloppy, right? This is a professional games company and someone who is listing their games that they're giving away to paying subscribers or free trialists, I guess, to some people. I mean, we're not lawyers, Richie. We're not small town pizza lawyers. But where does this land? You told your audience you're getting a game next month, arguably the best game, and then you're just going to scrub it from the blog post without any acknowledgement of it. And come Wednesday, I guarantee you this is not in anywhere to be seen for Pro, and they're going to not even.
But away. It makes you think, like, who's writing them, who's in charge of the quality of this stuff. Because if you think about any newspaper, you're going to have your journalists there writing the stories, and then you have an editor who will read them before they go to print. Mm-hmm. So that's a minimum of 2 people working on this. And whoever was the approval authority should have picked it up. You kind of have that bit of quality control to make sure Little Nightmares, you've wrote about Little Nightmares. Is that coming? Like, I didn't hear about that.
Well, this is where
take that off before we push it.
Yeah, like the pipeline of how things work. So my guess is someone negotiates with the developers and publishers, like finances and if it's worth it and stuff. Then they get the green light to approve it for Pro. Then someone needs to go and schedule the games to switch over to Pro on the 1st of December at a particular time.
Yeah.
Someone needs to make the thumbnail artwork. So the artwork that goes out that has the little Pro logo on it, which we've seen them mess up with that before as well, where they've put titles without or with the logo.
Yeah.
And then, you're right, someone has to write up a blog, someone has to approve it, and then someone has to do the tweets and the social media thing to go out and say, there's 5, 6, 7 new games coming. But you're right, they either can't count, they can't write, they can't proof check.
I sometimes get, because sometimes the blog post comes out bang on 5 o'clock in GMT in the UK. Sometimes it's a bit later, sometimes it's delayed a day. It's like, it feels like sometimes these blog posts are put together last minute. Like the scrambling to get something written so they could get it out there, rather than if it goes on a Tuesday, have it done by the end of the day on the Friday so it can be checked over on the Tuesday in time for publishing.
Yeah. So
it just feels that a little bit sloppy. Like they need to tighten the screws there a bit more.
Mm-hmm. So my next question then is, should they give people it again? Like how? Like where does this land? Because they've said you get it. People, this is a paid subscription. I don't know where we stand on it in a digital world where they've told us we're getting it.
I don't think they have an obligation to give people the game. That's a bit probably too complicated. However, what I think they should honour though is if someone's got Stadia Pro and goes, I got Stadia Pro this month for Little Nightmares, I think they should honour a refund
for Pro. So like
if people go, I got Stadia Pro for this game.
Yep. I'll give them a voucher code to use to purchase Little Nightmares, maybe. Little Nightmares can't be that much. It must only be like £15 to £20 tops.
I don't know because I have both of them. I can't even really look up in the store.
I claimed it on Pro, so I have it from last time.
Let us know in the comments how much it is, and is the game worth more than Stadia Pro? But I think that would be the thing I would do. Is kind of go, if someone sends in a complaint, goes, "Hi, took off Stadia Pro because I was really interested in playing Little Nightmares based on your blog post. Is it coming? No. Okay, can I get a refund?" And just honour that. True,
but then to play devil's advocate, if I was the employee who works in the chat help support forum and someone writes in and says, I was told I was getting Little Nightmares, it's not there, can I please have a refund? And the guy who works in this chat support goes, checks up on the blog, Mr. Customer, I think you'll find it was not listed on the blog post, I've just checked it and it's nowhere to be seen. And the customer says, it was there, it was removed. And the guy in the chat goes, I can't see that. And then
that comes down to internal communication and Google's part. Like, you kind of have to assume the customer's right in this scenario. Like, you can't just go, oh no, me working in the call center, I can't find any records of it. Therefore, it didn't. What you're saying doesn't exist when it's been edited.
Yeah, do they have access to the blog and its amended versions to look back at? Maybe like on a shared cloud thing. Who knows?
I don't know.
In working in retail for a part of my life, I can attest to the customer is not always right. In fact, for the most part, they're always wrong.
Yes, but sometimes you have to assume the customer's right unless you're certain.
Totally right.
Like,
totally right. But,
you have to give that benefit of the doubt initially.
Yeah, anyone out there who works in the public sector or retail, or just with any other human beings in general, you'll have a little chuckle to yourself over that. But yeah, so in the grander scheme of things, Richie, 7 Pro games for December. There was a brief moment in time where we were getting 7 Pro games in December. It may be 6 now. Yes. Hell, 10th of December could run around and they could have forgot about unto the end, like most people have. So it might be 5. They might surprise us mid-Christmas and give us another secret
Cthulhu Saves Christmas number 2.
The sequel, Christmas is Back.
Cthulhu Saves Boxing Day.
Exactly. But it's just, it's an interesting one. We'll watch it. Poor in lead with his Stadia Pro game monitor is going to have to tweak his graphs and charts for games that have now came around twice. I actually don't have a problem with games being rotated in and out twice, as long as the balance is right for people who've already claimed it.
For me, a lot of it would depend on when the game was last on. If it was in the same year, then it's kind of maybe it's a bit too soon. If that's like, if it was just a case of it's this game plus one other, but that game's already been on, it's not really good value for money for your long-standing customers.
Yeah,
it's something I think they should probably avoid.
Yeah, well, Little Nightmares...
I think a better way to go about that would be to give it a pro sale rather than make it a pro game.
Yeah. So, just to clarify, Little Nightmares was on Pro originally, the 21st Pro game on Stadia, June 2020, and it was on Pro to claim for 6 months. So, just so you've got that clarity on there. So, it's been a while, and I'm sure a lot of people have joined Pro since and haven't claimed it.
Oh, there will be loads, but yeah.
But yeah,
this
you're
is where
totally right, yeah.
I mean, ideally, you wouldn't want repeats because long-standing customers, they're going to be a bit disappointed by that because it actually devalues your subscription at that point a bit for that month.
Yeah.
But pro sales, I think, are a smarter way to go because then things can just rotate in and out of sales.
Yeah, I completely agree.
You could just do a massive pro sale and just have it drop down to like £1 or £2 or something.
Just about.
Like, so you're basically getting it for absolutely nothing. Because then existing pro members will go, oh, cool sale there for those who haven't got the game already. And new members will go, oh, great game for a cheap price.
Yep, agreed. And I would definitely recommend it. If it does drop on Pro, definitely claim it. If it doesn't, there's a full walkthrough with me, potentially in an anorak, to check out on the channel as well. So you'll be able to consume your Little Nightmares however you wish, if you want so. Moving on then from pro games, they're your titles. We've broken them down, we've discussed them, we've chatted about Metacritics, we've lambasted them for being on the list and then being taken off the list. But let's move our stories on. Next story of the week focuses on a deal that Stadia had. Now, we've not really heard about any of this, but in the news this week, reading from Eurogamer, Harmonix, the developer behind the series Rock Band, games like Fuser and Guitar Hero of fame, amazing memories there, have been acquired by Fortnite creator and developer Epic. So Epic Games have acquired Harmonix. Now, the reason this pertains to Google Stadia, for those who don't recall or remember once again, because we've not had anything from it, Stadia announced at one of their Connects, Mr. Phil Harrison in fact, announced that they're working with partnerships with other companies, one of which was Splash Damage, which we've seen Outcasters from. One of them was, I think Thunderful was one of them, and we've seen Wavetail off the back of that now as well. We had the one with the Journey to the Savage Planet creators, and we've had that. They since bought and sold and got rid. There's a lot of stuff happened with those guys. But one of them that was mentioned was Harmonix, and they announced they were going to be making a game that was going to be utilising Stadia and the cloud. And again, no one had, I don't think anyone had any inclination as to what the hell this could have been. We all presume it's music related because that's what Harmonix's core focus is about.
That's what they do.
that's their shtick. And here we are, Richie, 2 years on. Yep. Well, not 2 years, something else, but Stadia's 2 years old, and Harmonix have now been acquired by one of the richest gaming companies in the world. Of course, Fortnite, much beloved or not, depending on who you talk to. I have a massive fondness for Rock Band, Guitar Hero. We've spent many times rocking out, singing terribly, and playing
Not for a long time. We should do that again.
Do you have the equipment still?
I do not. I never had the equipment. You did.
It was my brother, actually, and he still has it all because my parents complain when they get the Christmas decorations down that why has the loft got a drum kit, a guitar, a piano, like every single thing in, still all wrapped up in plastic sellotape where they broke or things have snapped and it's all held together. But yeah, I would definitely be down for that. And I guess we all thought, like, will we get cloud peripherals? People can play through the cloud.
You just do air drums.
Air drums. Well, no, I just thought if you have a game like Guitar Hero Rock Band in the cloud, you would just need like a Wi-Fi or a Bluetooth compatible guitar, and then you wouldn't need the game. You could just play it on your TV, play it on your phone, similar to like Jackbox and Just Dance, where it negates the need of a console, so you can actually focus more on buying the peripherals, maybe.
Yeah, I think the problem though with Rock Band and like Guitar Hero was always expensive peripherals you have to buy for these games and these games alone. So they had the heyday, and then I think it's like people just got tired, like your parents getting tired of seeing the peripherals in the loft collecting dust, not getting used.
One hell of a Christmas though.
Yeah.
Or drunk nights, we should say, depending. It was many a nights playing Rock Band or Guitar Hero, a combination of the two. The songs were awesome as well. Like the song list, they're up to season 25 with Rock Band right now, which I didn't realize it was still going. With like DLC and songs, I guess it's like music licenses and such. And everyone's played like Smoke on the Water and stuff, and attempted to do Through the Fire and Flame on like super hard difficulty where your fingers literally get burnt off. But again, we digress. The kind of whole crux of this story is, where do you think Stadia and Harmonix are? Is this relationship severed now? Is it even still in the works? Because we've heard nothing.
Yeah, I think we're not. I wouldn't expect to see anything from that now, to be honest. I think the other games like Thunderful bringing Wavetail, I think that was probably a game that they were going to bring anyway. What else?
The Q Games, Pixel Junk Raiders was another one.
Pixel Junk, yeah, that was last year before the closure of Stadia Games and Entertainment. Most of the ones we've seen from them deals have happened before Stadia Games and Entertainment have closed. Mm-hmm. I think this might be dead in the water with that. When they closed that studio, if this game wasn't very far along, they've probably just canned it.
Or Epic have bought them out and thought, we see something really good here.
Well, from the Eurogame article, Epic apparently bought them to create musical journeys and gameplay for Fortnite. So I think it seems like they're going to make them more of a support studio rather than bring anything specific. You might still see other stuff come out, but I've got a feeling that this is just going to be a Fortnite support studio, unfortunately. Probably supporting some of the stuff that they already still do, but
yeah, they may be looking at incorporating, because we know Fortnite does the live gigs. We've seen Ariana Grande show up and some other people who I have no clue who they are. But yeah, the Harmonix in the statement, they said, over the last 26 years, we've pushed ourselves to redefine how people experience and interact with music. Now we'll be working with Epic to once again challenge expectations as we bring our unique brand of musical gaming experiences to the metaverse, which I wish people would stop using that, and we couldn't be more excited. So, yeah, I think it might be dead in the water too. I think we're that far past any communication or any updates or no announcements. Just like, we've got no concept art, we've got no developer interviews. Nothing. So
my assumption is when we heard up the news of the partnership, that was probably when it just been greenlit at that point. Yeah. So if it was going to be a brand new experience from the ground up, that was probably canned quite quickly.
Yeah, indeed. So again, we'll see. I guess we can say, if we want to talk about this more, head over and check out this week's SideQuest, where we are genuinely breaking down live events, because at the time of SideQuest going live on Friday the 3rd, it will have been an entire 1 year to the day since Stadia did any kind of event on their I was going to say on the YouTube channel, full stop. Yeah. No, other than the blog post, we've had nothing with celebrities, nothing with influencers, nothing with Phil Harrison, no GDC, no Summer Games Fest, no E3, no Game Awards that we know of. And things like this, like your relationship with Harmonix and second-party companies. Someone wrote in on the comments on the YouTube video for last week's SideQuest, where we reviewed Stadia in year 2, and they did a full great breakdown of things to expect. And another thing we don't really hear about since the closure is second-party relationships. They said they were going to focus on better investments and stuff. And where is that money going? Surely it's into second-party relationships, and yet we've heard nothing. So we're going to be talking about events, live events, what they need to do, looking back on some of the older ones as we reach that year point. So remember, members of the channel get it early. If you don't want to help support the channel a little bit more, it will drop on free feeds on the Friday. So looking forward to talking about that, Richie, because
with the correct audio.
We'll see. Don't promise the people just yet. Shout out to Inlead, who always hits us up and says, "It's just Richie again." You need to record.
That's what the people. That's what
for him.
That's what the people want. They just want me.
Well, I'm sure someone out there does. Yeah. Speaking of things, That's all I've got as a transition. Speaking of things, Rayman is a dismembered person.
That was your worst transition ever.
I know.
Speaking of things, Rayman.
I had one, and then I went off on like a whole little side quest thing. Let me think. Wait, take it for a moment. We'll talk about Harmonix and music. Speaking of music and games, Rayman Legends is now out on the platform, and it features an amazing breakdown of songs and music, visually stunning. Musically stunning. A good rendition of Black Betty is in this game. And I definitely could have done a better transition than that as well. But either way, the critically acclaimed Rayman Legends, the most recently released Rayman game, which they're sitting on some eggs, Ubisoft are, with Splinter Cell and Rayman. Give us another title.
Well, it's because it's not an open world game.
Well,
and now Ubisoft attend everything. It's not Tom Clancy, it's not open world, and it's not games as a service.
Tom Clancy's Rayman Origins.
When was it? It was 2014, wasn't it? Same as Child of Light.
13, I think.
2013. Child of Light was 2014. So Ubisoft were doing some interesting stuff around that period.
Yeah, a good period. But if you've not seen or heard Rayman Legends over like almost the last decade, Legends was originally released in summer 2013, developed by Ubisoft Montpellier. Rayman Legends is the 5th main installment of the series, and it's a direct sequel to Rayman Origins. Which again, if you're a Ubisoft Plus subscriber, you do get this one included as well. I've played this game. I have this game on PlayStation 4 and now 5, I guess. Super fun, very frenetic, energetic. Go through 2D platform worlds. Some levels you are more musically inclined, so you're jumping off drums and stuff. They've added some new mechanics in, like swinging and grabbing and stuff. Oh my word, the trailer shows PS3 and Wii U boxes. That's how old this game is. PlayStation Vita. This game is available on PlayStation Vita. Definitely recommend it. It's dropped on a pro sale as well, so you can pick it up for £11.99 right now, or your local equivalent in dollars or euros. Definitely want to recommend. If you're not a big fan of the Stadia, the Ubisoft Plus subscription model, while it's on a pro one, pick it up. There's 120 levels of gameplay. It does allow 4 players simultaneously, so there's like multiple characters. So it's a little bit like Little Big Planet 3. Where it had, well, it's not, I guess Little Big Planet 3 is more like this, chronologically, but you know what I'm getting at. There's 4 characters you can pick and choose. Loads of fun boss fights, and like I said, if you get to the level where it plays Black Betty, it's one of the most beautiful 2D platform moments you'll ever play, Richie. As you're running through, and you're jumping off bongo drums and smashing through things, the motion you're doing in the level is what's making the sounds for the song. So when you're jumping off drums, you are doing the beat for Black Betty. And the rhythm just flows fantastically. And $11.99, good price. I know it's an older game, but it's about the sweet
It's an older game, but there's something that caught my eye, and it's a Metacritic rating of 92%.
Tell you, good game.
If you like your 2D platformers, that number should be enough to go. And the fact that it's on sale at like $11.99 or $15.59, whether you're a pro member or not, it's a good price.
Yeah. Just to give you another insight, then IGN give it a 9.5 out of 10. Naturally, Rayman starts out with simple running, jumping, and punching. Of course, when he does that, and they do the jump back from the original. But before you know, you're sneaking past dozens of deadly traps, battling huge bosses, or playing through awesome challenge levels that look like 90s music videos. Every time I thought I found a personal favourite stage, the next one came along and replaced it. Which is just a ringing endorsement of the game. 9.9 out of 10 from Edge, 4.5 out of 5 from Games Radar, and like you said, 92% on Metacritic. So,
I've seen a few people asking actually about Rayman Origins, which was the original reboot of the series. But from what our experience with Ubisoft and Stadia, they tend to re-release all the games in reverse order.
If memory serves me right, Origins is in this game. Like the levels from Origins are within this game. So the way the menu's laid out is there's loads of portraits in like a castle, similar to Mario 64 actually. And when you go through a portrait, it takes you into like a new dimension of levels. And in my mind, I can picture like a Rayman Origins logo over the top of one of the portraits. And I feel like it was like the old game was added in as like just included in this new one. So don't quote me on that, but in my brain I'm pretty sure I played some Rayman Origins stuff in Rayman Legends. I know you're doing some frantic research.
I am actually quickly looking up.
But while you look it up, I'll just talk. Like we need if all the remakes we've had, Ubisoft, why are you sitting on a game that's got 92% on Metacritic and seems to be like adored by reviewers and fans out there? Stop messing up. You know what? Add Tom Clancy at the start if you want to. I'll give it to you. Tom Clancy's Rayman, whatever, Sniper Elite, Sniper, whatever, Splinter Cell you need to do. I don't know why I said Sniper Elite. Yeah. And either that or go back and remake the originals, because the OG Rayman on PS1 was terrific. It's one of my favourite games on the PlayStation 1. I've still got it. And I want those guys with the guns who fire the hammer rockets.
Yeah, the game features over 120 levels, including 40 remastered levels from the original Rayman Origins. So it might not be all the levels in Origins.
1 for 1.
Yeah, but it does feature 40 of them.
I mean, that's enough, right? To wet your whistle.
Yeah.
But check it out, good price. Philly Boots, why it's on offer. I'm tempted now. Now I've been talking about it.
Yeah.
And it'll be really good on a phone as well, because it's like it's not that like there's no text or speech interaction. It's just music and jumping and hitting things. But moving on from Rayman to back to the farm. Farming Simulator 22 has released on Stadia, £44.99, your local equivalent. It has released from Giant Software. We know one original penguin out there is absolutely loving his life right now, farming, harvesting, seeding, and all the other things people do on a farm. Richie, I tweeted out about this, but this wasn't. Farming Simulator 21 was the first ever game you, me, and Tom played on Stadia.
It was 20. Was it 20?
Oh yeah, skip 21. Skip 21. Yeah, sorry, 20. 21 doesn't exist. Keep me straight. 20. Yes, and we had a great laugh with it. I'd never played a farming simulator game before.
It was the original Pro game.
The OG Pro game. And you know what? It could come back to Pro, for all we know. The way they're going right now with their blogs and games, it's due to come back around. Of course, take on the role of a modern farmer and creatively build your farm in 3 diverse American and European environments. Farming Simulator 22 offers a huge variety of gaming. Farming operations including agriculture, animal husbandry. That sounds like you're marrying the animals.
Yeah.
And forestry, now with the exciting addition of season cycles. So remember your fallow year, folks. It's very important for farming. I remember being taught that in school.
Crop rotation. It wasn't just an upgrade in Age of Empires 2.
It wasn't just, and it's not just when Glastonbury takes a year off.
Yeah.
Because they do that for musical festivals as well. The grass has got to regrow. But yes, if you want to check out content, definitely check out, I'm sure, Original Penguin. Adam over there will be doing something along those lines. We might check it out at some point. We might revisit the farm actually and see how our pet dog's doing that we acquired.
Yeah.
We haven't fed him in 2 years.
Was it Frodo?
We call him Frodo, yeah. We haven't fed him in 2 years. But
you know what?
He's not a Tamagotchi,
I think if Farming Sim 22 comes to Pro, we should do it. We should do a stream on it.
Okay, I'm down for that. But yes, it's out now. Go fill your farms, fill your seed sacks, your silos, your granaries, and what other farming references I can throw in there. Moving on though, One Hand Clapping, which was also a pro game earlier in the year. Nearly everything's been a pro game. Is getting a worldwide release on December 14th on other platforms. It was available in early access, but it's coming out now from Handy Games. Of course, this is the one where you have to sing into the microphone or talk loudly into the microphone, Richie, to get your character to move and interact.
Yeah.
Not one for me. I don't quite like the thought of sitting up my chair and screaming or shouting or, in fact, singing. I need to have a good few drinks. But
this wasn't different. A pro game,
wasn't it?
It's just early access.
Oh, that might be what I'm getting confused with, because we get that many early access games on Pro, like Hello Engineer and the like, Ember and such. My bad, folks. But it's going out. It's again interesting to see it's getting a bit more focus on it. Interesting enough, Steam, Epic, GOG, Switch, PS4, Xbox, Stadia, Google Play, Apple, and Samsung. So they are hitting every platform. I didn't realise Samsung. I guess it's the Samsung Galaxy Store, which nobody uses.
Yeah, like because everyone just uses the Android store. So,
all right,
good for them though.
Good for them. You go enjoy your Bixby's and your Samsung Galaxy stores. But yeah, One Hand Clapping, definitely unique, little indie title. Go check it out as it's gone out of early access. That means it's fully ready to be played. And wrapping up this week's news stories with some nice positive stories around Hitman, Richie, and IO Interactive, of course. We're big Hitman fans here, part of the world of assassination. New content is coming to Hitman 3, and a roadmap for 2022 has been laid out. With 50 million players, the game is the most successful of the entire Hitman series to date. Of course, it released in January. The first big AAA game of the year. And I think it released so early, I don't think I've seen it in any Game of the Year conversation.
I think it's been mentioned at Game Awards. I think it's in. I think it's in the mix.
Art style or something. Like none of the big ones.
Yeah, I can't remember which one, but I'm sure I saw it in there.
But either way, they've said January 2022 will bring new additions, ray tracing to PC, so whether that will be Stadia or not, we'll have to wait and find out. A VR mode on PC and an exclusive Target arcade mode too. The latter is described as a new way to play your favourite mode in the ultimate elusive target challenge. Further down the line, IO Interactive promises new maps, new storylines, and other modes that are currently all hush-hush in secret, be shared soon. So I'm glad to see they're continuing, of course, to support Hitman 3 whilst they work on the new James Bond franchise. I'm glad to see they've got over 50 million players across the world of assassination, which it's an interesting stat because is that just Hitman 3 or is that all three of them now?
It's hard to know.
Yeah, it's one of them facts that it could be like really good or it could be like slightly skewed to make it sound great. But what I love about it is the fact that single player games keep getting almost like this like continued support. Like we've seen it with Valhalla and stuff as well, where it just keeps ticking over. And I think Hitman is one of them evergreen titles where it doesn't matter when you pick it up, it doesn't matter when you replay it, you can just jump in and have fun.
Yeah, well, I'd much prefer it with Hitman than Valhalla because something like for me, Valhalla is very much a story-based game. He's the world. I just want to play the game. I'm when I roll credits. I'm done with it. Mm-hmm. Hitman's more of a sandbox game where you're going to jump into this level, and you have to figure out how to do it. And there's challenges built into it, so they've redefined it. So I don't think there's a strong comparison between them. That's why I'm a bit skeptical about the Ubisoft stuff. Got 10 to 10 everything at New Games as Service.
Yeah, it's an interesting way for IO to just keep making a little bit of money whilst they work on Project 007 because they've only ever teased that they won't be that far into development. But I'm super excited for that based on how much fun I have with Hitman. I said at the time it's a match made in heaven, I think, for as far as developers. Other than maybe I would want a Naughty Dog to have a crack at James Bond. But
IO is a good choice though.
For IO to have a dig at it as well. But yeah, Hitman doing well in Stadia, one of the best games of the year, and we'll probably be reviewing and breaking down all of these type of games, Richie, as well as we get to the end of December and we take a little bit of time off and we spend that one hectic day where we record like 4 shows in one, so we can stack them for our audiences because we've never missed a week to this day.
We have not, and we don't intend to start now.
We do not. So we work overtime to bring you the Stadia content and the Stadia news, just like we've done this week for episode number 114 of all your Stadia news rounded up. We may have threw some theories out there talking about pro games. We don't know how many. Just take your pick. Do you think, Richie, will it be 5? Will it be 6? Or will it be 7? Where do you think? Where's the coin going to land on Wednesday the 1st of December?
For me, I'm going with 6.
You're going with 6. You're playing it safe.
I'm going with the 5 confirmed in the blog post plus Unto the End.
I'm going to go with 5 because Unto the End isn't until the 10th. So.
But we're just talking for December though.
I said first of December.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I'm going with 5 then. I'm going with 5 with Unto the End coming out on the 10th.
Okie dokie. Yeah, probably the same. And I'm very intrigued to see how this little nightmare unravels. Will it become a big nightmare for Stadia or PR or
Stadia Pro's little nightmare?
I hope someone brings it up with them. Like I have it, so I'm not losing out on anything. But I genuinely hope if there's people out there who are looking forward to this game, I hope you make yourselves known.
I've got a feeling that no one will probably bring it up because, apart from on people like us on shows this, because it was up and down so quick.
Did notice?
Yeah.
Didn't notice. But that's what we're here for, to inform the viewers and listeners about the little things that they may have missed.
So every little mistake they make.
Every little scrutinised thing. And the only reason we do it is because we love them. That's why.
And also don't give us much else to talk about.
And that too. We have to record a show. And we only get 2 news segments, 2 blogs a blog every fortnight. but yeah, we have to do that. We're going to go away and record SideQuest, where we talk about all the live events and why it's been one whole year since they did anything. Social, content creators, influencers, hit us up. We'll do a 24-hour stream for Stadia. Hit us up. You know we'd love to. But that brings us, Richie, to an end. Of course, you can support the channel, support us a little bit more by clicking like on that video down below. Subscribe to the channel and click that bell and share it with all your friends and fellow Stadia players out there so they can find us, they can enjoy and revel in more Stadia juiciness right here at Helix Cloud Games. Don't forget, if you want to stay in the loop with all of our news, you can follow us on Twitter at Helix Cloud Games. You can follow Tom at AdaxisLP as he's away, a baby looking after him. Richie, you are at
Richie C89.
I am at CyberChris2077. It's exciting times as we head into Christmas, Richie. Step into Christmas, in fact. Trees will be up maybe next week for next week's show. Maybe for the live stream.
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't decided when I'll put mine up yet.
I'll decide for you. We're off to go see Ghostbusters Afterlife. Very excited. The weekend is still all in front of us. Have a great week, everyone. And remember, play wherever makes you the happiest. My name's been Chris.
I've been Richie.
We've been Sounds of Stadia Podcast for Helix Cloud Games. Have a great week, everyone. Goodbye. Merry Christmas.